Albert Allen's got the secrets in his hand. Retail heroes taking over this land. Trading stocks with a master plan. Fortunes rising on the Clover brand. Numbers rolling, deals never stop. Bulls are charging, markets gonna pop. Albert's wisdom higher than the top. With Clover Health, we'll hit the jackpot. Fortune calls, Albert leads the way. Retail winners here to seize the day. Clover's Health, dollars gone sway. In this game, no more bills to pay. Through the highs and lows, we stay strong. Albert's voice guiding us all along. Clover's growth, we're playing like a song. Investing right, never going wrong. Stocks are climbing, reaching for the skies. Albert's insights cutting through the lies. Retail dreams standing tall, they rise. In this world of trades, we're the prize. Fortune calls, Albert leads the way. Retail winners here to seize the day. Clover's Health, dollars gonna sway. In this game, no more bills to pay. Through the highs and lows, we stay strong. Albert's voice guiding us all along. Clover's growth, we're playing like a song. Investing right, never going wrong. Fortune calls, Albert leads the way. Retail winners here to seize the day. Clover's Health, dollars gonna sway. In this game, no more bills to pay.
Hello. What's going on, everybody? Welcome now, Stock Trades. How's everybody doing today? All right, guys. So it's been a while since we made a video that had some really crazy information. So, I went ahead and did a cash secured put, but I did it on the wrong day. What a day to do a cash secured put. Holy moly, did the Bill Ackman strike today? We're going to go ahead and talk about that. What's going on? Clover reminded this stock is for professionals only. I love it. Hey, y'all, what's going on? There's Cubana. What's going on, Jay? From 4:08 to 4:30, this stock swinging. Get your spacesuits ready. Let's go. I'm telling you, 4.22 dip. Going to be even better. One soon under 390, hopefully. I don't know, man. I hope so. But it's been pretty good support, maybe potentially after earnings, but who knows? So a couple things happened today, right? We'll go ahead and discuss it. But very quickly, I would like to talk about two things. So this is called stage analysis. It's part of the Alstock Trades Premium Terminal. Clover Health is ranking. This is an old photo. It's 13. Clover right now is ranking top 17. Okay. Top 17 best stock in the market in regards to that stage one to stage 2 analysis, right? And the thing is, this is it's just very cool, right? And the fact that our terminal can do this, it really shows. And that was one thing I also want to show is we just created this. I've been working on it. It took about 3 hours to run this scan. This is you know how we have our institutional ownership scoring system that was able to see Clover's institutional ownership score go up by a point to the bullish mark. What this does here is this searches every stock in the market. In fact, there are about 3,000. You can scroll down. You see that little scroll bar here? See how it's so small, right? You see how it's like you have a lot to look forward to. There's about 3,000, maybe 900, pretty much we'll call it 4,000 stocks in here. And what it does is it takes all the stocks in the United States and it runs them through our proprietary institutional ownership calculational models. And it basically sequences them between bullish to bearish, where the bullish scores are high at the top, which means that institutions are actually buying these stocks. And this is actually pretty cool because now what you're starting to do and what you're starting to see is we now have all these stocks that the big boys are buying, smart money, right? The big dogs. And then we run it through our intrinsic, we run it through our quantum charts, our Monte Carlos, our advanced technical analysis. We run it through our, financial data sheet analysis to see if the company's actually making any money and profitable. We run it through our intrinsic value software. We run it through our progression analysis. Then we run it through sentimental analysis, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And you start to see now the biggest part of our community is we have over, $44 million of net worth in our community. And that's really cool because now we're going to be able to split this list and talk about it and break down the stocks. And you can start to see now the vision that we have. Again, this is not your normal group. This is not your normal group. This is a group powered by the Clover Assistant. I'm just kidding. That's a joke, right? You know how like Andrew Toy, physicians powered by the Clover Assistant. Well, we're powered by, power of freaking out stock trades, right? And at least we have a good mic, right? A good microphone, right? All right. So a couple jabs there, right? All right. So let's go ahead and let's talk about what happened today. Okay. So if you don't recall, UnitedHealthcare hired a lawyer specifically to go after people that criticize them in social media, right? Which is kind of bizarre, but especially with freedom of speech. But again, I'm not a legal expert here, right? But they actually criticized Bill Ackman, whom obviously is a friend of the channel, it's very interesting because they sent a letter to the SEC, United Healthcare, right? And it's quite interesting. They sent a letter and they said that this guy has a short, but in reality, Bill is not in that game anymore. He's not shorting stocks anymore. So they try to silence him. And if you don't know this guy, Mr. Bill Ackman, dude, this guy is such a good man. I mean, honestly, this guy, he's, as someone who comes from, a Jewish background and family, I have to say this guy's been a leader of the whole Jewish community. I mean, this guy's such a good man, right? So I have I have so many words to say about this gentleman, all obviously positive. It's so cool that what he's doing. He's taking his platform, and I hope he runs for president. But that's just my obviously my he's one of my role models. But he went ahead and posted this today, okay? And this I want to go ahead and read this. This is actually pretty cool, right? So here's Bill Ackman. The way I almost want to put this like Scarface, right? Put it in like a Scarface. Like this guy's so freaking badass. Okay. So anyway, when a company, in this case, United Healthcare, attacks its critics, the probability that, again, he's obviously referencing himself and of course, this particular plastic surgeon, right? So let's repeat. When a company, in this case, United Healthcare, attacks its critics, the probability that it has committed fraud or is guilty of a crime increases substantially. This morning, the DOJ announced an investigation into UNH's Medicare billing practices. The DOJ did not do this lightly. And then he goes in and pretty much this is, he speaks to the community here. Now he's speaking to Wall Street, right? And now he's also speaking to investors, and he's also speaking to me, okay? He says, my psychological short here is paying off, and I would avoid this stock, okay? That's huge, right? Now, again, we already saw Humana lose 50% of its value in regards to increases in medical costs that they cannot contain, to a point where they went in a period of one quarterly result went into negative free cash flow territory, which we'll go ahead and use our proprietary stock trade software to show you. Okay. Now you're having essentially UnitedHealthcare being hit, right? So as someone, obviously, I have a benefit in this. I have a benefit. We all do. Obviously, we are Team Clover Health, right? So let's make sure we're transparent in this. I have a huge benefit in this in terms of I'm rooting for the underdog. I want the underdog to win. So obviously, this is, in my opinion, this is good for us, that we're finally getting some accountability. Obviously, I'm not saying that UnitedHealthcare is guilty. And this is to protect us and protect our channel, and from UnitedHealthcare's lawyer, who's probably knocking on the door right now, right? but the DOJ's investigation will let us know exactly what's going on. And the beautiful part about this is I love investigations, right? Because they're really great, because they look under the rocks. They look into the cracks. And honestly, a lot of doctors that I know are really happy about this, because, insurance and doctors have had not really the best relationship. So this will be pretty good. I would like to see your comments in the chat, kind of like, have you been denied healthcare by insurance companies? If so, can you don't have to tell us your, sensitive medical history, but, just kind of like, how does that look like? And how did your physician take it? And ultimately, how long did that delay your need of care? I mean, it's a common thing in the United States, which is kind of crazy. But he says that when you find two cockroaches, right? There's a Scarface, right? It is almost a certainty that there are many more, right? And then he speaks to Wall Street here. And a $500 billion market cap for a health insurer makes no sense. I expect that there are many whistleblowers who have shared their work with the government, and that will be inspired to do so now, especially, right? So I think the DOJ got enough fire, because, again, the DOJ doesn't go after someone without actually having something, right? So especially a big dog, right? Let alone a small dog, a big dog, right? UnitedHealthcare is a big dog. Roof, 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 right? Big dogs, okay? Big dogs, okay? So, and yes, UNH still has not apologized to Dr. Potter. Okay, so that's interesting. Okay, so let's by the way, if you haven't done so, smash the like button, right? If you help us out, right? Smash the like button, right? Someone told me to say it with more like emphasis, right? But again, it always hurts my throat. All right, so there it is, guys. Okay, so now we talked about this. Let's go ahead and now let's go kind of under the hood real quick, and just kind of talk about a couple things here. Okay, guys. So we'll go to Clove here. So today, Clover is down 2%. Overall, the market here, the S&P was down 1.71%. So we're pretty much tracking along, right in between the NASDAQ and the S&P, right? We did a lot better than the Russell today. And that's pretty good. And if you look at other healthcare insurance companies, like, for example, Humana's down 5.67%. Humana's like, oh my God, my big brother is failing. They're going to come after me too. So Humana's crying, oh my God, and I feel bad for Humana. Humana's been on a downtrend. I mean, it's tried to recover, but, it's been going down. UnitedHealthcare obviously took a big hit, 7%, obviously, of, like the big market cap that it has is pretty significant. Year to date now, it's down 7.55%. that pretty much takes it negative into the year. From a year perspective, down 10% here. If you go ahead and take from the high all the way down to the low, it's down about 24.26%. That's pretty significant. And then we could go ahead and look at other ones. Let's look at Centene. Centene's down 1.37. Obviously, so it seems as healthcare insurance companies are down. This thing's still, Humana is still up 1.29%, but we'll see how long that lasts. But ultimately, right now, we're starting to see these outlier healthcare companies like Alignment. Let's see what Alignment Healthcare looks like. Alignment Healthcare is down 8.28%. So it's interesting. Alignment Healthcare went down a lot, but Clover sustained itself. So it's not like they reported earnings or anything. So I find this interesting. You know what this tells me, and this is kind of this is the beautiful part about our channel. Yeah, we don't have the fancy bells and whistles in terms of transition points and YouTube editing. I have the skills, but I rather focus on the analysis and give you what you guys need, right? Interestingly, very quickly, guys, let's open up our quantum chart terminal here, and let's look at Alignment Healthcare. So you look at Alignment Healthcare, and then you can see this huge drop all the way from 14 down to $13, right around that. And you can kind of see it probably hit some level of support right around the $13.28, and probably near the Fibonacci sequence retracement right around that at 1306. But that's not what I came here to show you. What I came here to show you is if we hit institutional ownership and we can graph this data, we can go ahead and look at the ownership percent increase. Now, ownership percent for Alignment Healthcare, in fact, we could just make this bigger. Again, you see how it's Apple-like? You see how beautiful our platform is? The platform literally gives you what you need in order to become successful in the stock market, right? And it's crazy because it's lifetime access, and it's a course to teach you how to use this information. And then you're basically surrounded by individuals that are very wealthy, that have over $44 million with a 30% response rate, right? I think we have anywhere between $50 to $80 million in our platform, right? In terms of the net worth, and imagine the social capital, right? So it's really cool, guys, that we have access to this. So interestingly, if you look at Alignment Healthcare, it's owned by 92.08% of Wall Street, right? Institutional, big money investors. So I just kind of find it funny that the stock dropped, 8% today. And potentially, I think stocks that are owned a lot by Wall Street for healthcare are basically pulled out today, but they probably were net sellers today, right? Because, if you look at Clover's not owned by 92% of Wall Street, right? Clover's actually being bought out by Wall Street right now, not being sold, right? So it's interesting that the retail-dominated Clover Health actually sustained itself pretty well today, because what that basically tells you is, one, either there's going to be a couple of positions right now, okay, a couple of predictions. Either retail investors sold today, right, in which they sold their percentage ownership of Clover, in which institutions were able to buy it and take advantage and buy the dip, which you can basically, you can see that, Clover's been trying to dip. You could see a dip to 430, then it rebounded by 8%. Then it dipped to 430 again. Then it rebounded again by 5%. Then it dipped to 441. You could see, like, first it went from 431, 432, 441, and here it is, 440. And you could see it's almost like it's getting higher highs, higher lows, whatever it is, or just higher lows. It's interesting because every time it dips, it's been bought back up. And I think Gordon, one of our members in our stock terminal, said, retail is actually selling. So this could potentially mean that maybe in these short markets, we essentially have the stock basically sell off. Retail investors go into the sell off their stocks, and then institutions are most likely picking it back up. And we know this is going to happen, right? Institutional ownership has been increasing, right? And we're going to talk about that in this video again today. This video is going to be pretty jam-packed, so make sure you stay for everything, right? It's like, you order a nice expensive pizza, but you don't, you only look at it, right? So make sure you hear this out. So it's either retail investors have sold today and then institutions pick back up, or it could be a mixture of institutions picking back up and retail investors holding because they know exactly what they hold. But let's face it right now, I think about maybe 50% of retail investors right now of the 100% are going to most likely give into extreme stock rises and extreme stock falls, meaning that they're going to sell, right? And because there's most likely maybe of that 50%, maybe, in the next 5 years, only like 5% will last, right? And again, I've been into this for a long time. I'm giving you the realistic piece here. Now, potentially, with the era of technological digital transformation of news being, and research being democratized, potentially that might change the outcome. But in terms of people being more informed and just having a more educational platform to be able to, have a community like the rich go to a golf course, right? So what you can do is you can calculate how much retail investors hold. You can calculate how many institutional investors hold. You could calculate how much insiders hold. It's all documented, and you can basically see if insiders stay the same, institutional ownership goes up, then obviously who sold, right? Retail, right? Who's left, right? Martians, right? So that's what it is there. I think that's kind of what's happening in between here. And it's funny because institutions pulled out here, but they're not doing it here, right? They're not doing it here. So year to date, we're up 40%. I'm so sad that we're up 40%. I wish it was more, right? Like no one understands this pain that I feel. No one understands my pain. This is just like only 40%. That's what someone was saying on Reddit today. Alignment's only up 14%. So it's very clear that, with the industry leading MCRs, HE, the HEIDS or whatever score is in the top one for Clover. It's looking pretty damn good for Clover, guys. Okay. And then institutions are basically picking back up. The only thing that's missing is the institutional positive free cash flow on a fiscal year basis and positive net income. Okay. All right. So now we talked about all these stocks right now. We talked about kind of the market really plunged today. Now let's go ahead and talk about something important. Okay. Where is it? So you remember I told you we had a technical breakout and I said that's very bullish. So right now it was very bullish and you could see we made new highs, right? But then now we basically went down back to our technical support breakout line. And the goal is now, you see that little green little bar there? The goal now is essentially, is this going to hold? And if it does, then we're back to the bull market. If you haven't realized, we had a couple of times where the stock market went down. First, it was, I'm going to get this wrong because it's been a while, but first it was DeepSeek, I think, right? Then it was the tariffs, and then it was the hot CPI report, and then it recovered, and now it's tariffs again, and we'll see if we recover again. So ultimately, this is a sign of a bull market, okay? Because usually, if you recall back in 2022 and 2023, if any of these things happen, then, the bears are going to take it out of the window, right? So what I want to do right now real quickly is I want to read a couple of things. But first, let's go to the comments real quick. Finally made it to a live. All stock trades for life. Let's go. I can see Morgan and Morgan class action. Okay, let's see. That's some big investors like Burry buying Oscar last quarter. There it is. There it is. There it is. Good. So we'll talk about it. I mean, a big dog buys. I'm the dog on the boat, relaxing. Right. I'm waiting to all the institutions to join the boat ride party and follow us to the moonlight. Right. So there it is. The retail was this retail investor was a net buyer. Let's go. Al, what do you really think will happen with the stock price with good numbers in the fourth? So here's the thing, TW. Okay, whoever tells you they can understand stock market movements for quarterly results that's going to happen next week is lying to you, right? No one understands short-term fluctuations of the stock market. We can only understand long-term in terms of, is a company making more money for their, is the company making more profits for their shareholders, right? And creating shareholder value. And that's really speaks more over years and rather than quarters. So I don't like to play the short-term speculation game. That's not what I like to do. Now, does our stock terminal help us utilize the options analysis to figure out what Wall Street thinks it's going to do? Yes. And we have an expectation percentage earnings report, which is in the stock terminal somewhere, right? Rabdo is always on top of that one, right? More on top than me. But I don't play these short-term games because, Q4, if you want to kind of roll the dice on it, Q4 is historically weak for Clover, but historically for Clover, it can't be applied to now because you've seen Clover's change. But historically, Clover's weak. Now, are they going to use the buybacks to kind of unweak this Q4 potentially? Maybe. I don't know. But regardless of what happens, I'm always going to be right now a net bull on Clover. And I'm not a financial advisor, but I'm just saying from my perspective, kind of if I did see a dip, if there was, I'm going to be a net buyer, right? Because that's just me. And I'm not saying you follow me. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a broker. I'm not licensed in anything related to stocks. Treat everything I say as a grain of salt, right? But ultimately, what I do like to teach is the educational side of the stock market from my 10 years of experience as just a retail investor like yourself, right? It's, I'm dating myself now, but it's more than 10 years now, which is kind of scary. Time flies, right? It's especially when you're having fun. It's kind of sad, but it is what it is, right? Today, they sold off mostly because of the new coronavirus. Yeah, I heard about that. We'll see. We know a lot about Corona now. We know we have an mRNA vaccine, so I'm not really too worried about that. Again, that's, yeah, I'm not too bugged out. If we get another pandemic, damn, right? That's just like, but I don't think so, right? So I'm not worried. So we talked about the technical breakout, and now I'm just waiting for it to rebound. We'll see if that happens. You can see it's very nice, clean technicals. I don't like to make things sloppy. Overall, we're waiting to this red line, which is the earnings here. Let's go ahead and push it up on the daily right here. And you can see, we're essentially we've gone to this ascending triangle, and then we pretty much ballooned up to a flag pole and a flag. And now we're basically transcending into another ascending triangle. And I think, many people, especially now, because it's above the simple moving average, many people are like, this thing's pretty much recovering. We're pretty much going to recover. And don't forget, there's a gap from $5.89 to around $6. So there's a gap here, right? So, it's, and I said, we'll talk more about this as we go up higher, but ultimately, guys, we're pretty much looking at this like this, right? Just so we can see, don't get it twisted. We're slowly recovering right now. And once we go over this $5 region, people are going to be like, oh my God, this thing's recovered, and it's very interesting because if you go to Twitter, and here's Bill Ackman's post, if you go to Twitter and if you type in CLOV, guys, what you're going to find now is a bunch of people kind of draw their lines, and they're going to basically go ahead and do their stock, patterns and whatnot. And, you're going to get more people like this, right? People that, are going to see what we've been seeing since 60 cents, looking at the fundamentals, right? And this is where people like us are going to make money, because now there's people that are saying, I'm going to buy the dip on Palantir, but we as the Al Stock Trades community laugh at them because we called out Palantir at $6.50, a little lower than that. We called it out right here. So to us, it's like, I don't know, you can go ahead and laugh all you want, right? We're pretty much, laughing our way all the way to the bank, right? 17 bagger plus, right? So ultimately, guys, let people find this company. They're going to find it, Clover, right? And they're going to find it. And, they're going to be like, oh my God, this company's really great and all this other stuff. And, all these beautiful things about Clover they're going to, the stock's going to go from $10 to $8. They're going to be like, oh my God, we got to buy the dip. And we're going to sit here, look at them like, where the hell were you? Right? It's going to go from $20 to $15. They're going to say, we need to buy the dip. We need to buy the dip right now. It's $15. You'll never see this again. And we're going to look at them like, are you like, it's just, again, opportunity happens. You guys found the channel. You guys found the opportunity. And you guys figured out that this thing is incredibly undervalued. And these are not my words. These are the words of the CFO, right? We talked about mergers and acquisitions today. What the hell is he talking about? Right? That's kind of weird. Okay, so let me see. I want to make sure I got everything here, right? We talk about all this. Oh, good. There it is. So today, I went ahead and updated the Al Stock Trades terminal, and it seems that we used to have we used to be 5-4, now we're 6-3 bullish, right? So that's pretty cool, right? In fact, we're actually more bullish than normal, but you could see, we'll hit it up here. How about this? We'll exit. We'll exit. We'll open up Clover. Okay, and we'll open up institutional ownership real quick here. In fact, Craig Holland put another $6 price target. Yes, we get it. We get it. You're bullish. I understand. Anywho, look at this, right? So we run the scoring system and we're 6-3. We're bullish, right? So we've popped up in terms of investor holdings. Now we have, for the first time, 193 investors. This is a high that we've never seen before. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the new era of Clover Health. This is from 2021, ladies and gentlemen. We have never seen institutional holdings this high. That means there are 193 big dogs, 193 big corporations that have bought Clover. Ladies and gentlemen, the big dogs are here. As everything I've been telling you for the past years, it's playing out. It's playing out, and all of us are already wealthy and about to even get more wealthy, okay? You understand this? This is the power of the Al Stock Trades platform, okay? All right, so now let's go ahead and go to number 13F shares. Now, this is pretty cool. This thing just flipped positive. So now we basically moved above the normal trend line. So now institutions hold around 92.8% of shares, right? 92.8 million. Now, obviously, it says the number of shares is bearish, but you're saying, well, it is above. Technically, now it's bullish. But the reason why I say it's bearish, because I don't like one data point to determine the score. I want to have a collective proprietary quantitative analysis to give me whether it's bullish or not. So I like this. I like how this is calculated because it's not emotional, right? It goes off of averages, which is what we need, right? I don't like to be, I don't like to, I'm not emotional. Okay. So maybe in other things, but not in stocks, right? So this obviously flipped the switch here in Q3 of 2024. This flipped the switch in Q4 of 2024. This thing flipped the switch here in Q3. So now we have total invested. We have right now approximately $292 million to almost $300 million invested in Clover Health right now from the big dogs, right? And then before, they used to have more investments. So we're slowly but surely going to see this rise. Again, this is the new era. This is the new dawn of Clover Health, and this is all part of the premium All Stock Trades platform, which we will increase prices to. It'll most likely go from anywhere between 5,000, then around 7,500, all the way up to 10,000, and potentially even higher, right? Having this for lifetime still blows my mind. Game-changing stuff here, and soon life-changing for me. And as you can see, Clover-minded Kevin, you're starting to see the power of the stock terminal, the premium stock terminal that we have, the advanced stock terminal from the Al Stock Trades platform. You start to see, this is part of the Al Stock Trades website. You're starting to see that, yes, you do have this for a lifetime. You do have it for a lifetime. And you see how powerful it is. You see now how you have your finger on the pulse. You know exactly where, again, listen, just like what Drew was saying, you surround yourself with 3 losers, you'll be the 4th loser, okay? You surround yourself with 3 winners, you're going to be the 4th winner. Okay, listen. All right, I'm not calling myself a winner. No, I'm talking about the graphs. We are surrounding ourselves with freaking billionaires that own trillion-dollar companies or soon-to-be trillion-dollar companies. We are surrounding ourselves with billionaires, okay? So if you surround yourself with a billionaire, okay, and you're surrounding yourself with people that are increasing their shareholdings of Clover, and you're following what billionaires are doing, then you're going to become a millionaire. You're going to become rich. Right? You follow the right people, and now you have data to look any stock in the freaking stock market and figure out if the big dogs are buying at the comfort of your own home. That was my vision all along. And then you take this information, you go to your house, you go to the stock community group, Discord group, and you'd say, hey guys, this is what I found. Can you poke holes in my argument? And you have people that are freaking smart, pilots, engineers, doctors, truckers, you name it. Right? Physicists. We have so many smart people, and you could say poke holes in my investments, and you have, as a team, come together and talk about stocks. Go find me a place where you have that. Not even the richest golf courses have what I'm trying to give you. Right? I am literally pulling the powers of Wall Street into this damn retail investor community, and we're going to basically show and stick a middle finger to the top 1%. That, yes, if we come together and create a community, we can achieve so much together. Okay. So yes, and it blows my mind too, right? because we're surrounding ourselves now with the billionaires. I realize we can't beat these billionaires. That's fine. Let's join them. Let's learn from them. Instead of saying tax the rich, let's say, you know what? How can I learn from the rich? I want to become like one. How did they think? How do they talk? How do they eat? How do they interact with people? What data do they look at? How do they analyze? These are the questions I asked myself. It's a mindset. There's a difference between being poor and being broke. Being broke, you don't have money. Being poor is a mentality. Okay? All right. And this is coming from someone who was previously homeless. Okay? So for all the people out there that are like, I can't believe you said that. Well, I bet you I was probably more broke and poor than you, right? And look where I am now, right? All right. So now, I appreciate you, Clover Minded. How much is lifetime? Lifetime right now is $3,000. We will be increasing prices. I've heard a lot of emails saying, can you please bring back the discount price? Okay, that's fine. We'll go ahead. We'll bring it back. Because I was, again, we'll bring it back for now. We will be increasing prices in the summer, right? This will be the maybe sooner, but most likely the summer, right? It takes a few things I need to do to go ahead and do that, right? So we're going to increase prices, but what we'll do is just as a thank you to all the people that have sat down with us and watched our channel, right? From going from 0 to hero, we'll go ahead and bring back. It'll be the flash one. I'll activate it again. Maybe sometime tonight, type in flash or tomorrow and you'll see it. And don't worry. And this is another opportunity for you to secure lifetime access for a platform that would cost you in the thousands of dollars. Okay. Right. I'm very passionate about this. I put my name on this platform. I put my reputation on this platform. You understand what I'm saying? Okay. All right. So there it is. So there's that. Worth every penny. Let's go. Yeah, no, I'm very passionate about this, right? Because you're surrounding yourself with the wealthy. Listen, guys, we're that's it. Look, when's the last time we've had 193 big dogs holding Clover? Here's 2021 Q3. Has it been 190? No. This is the first time. You have the data in front of your eyes. You have the data in front of your freaking eyes. You see it here. There is no bullshit, right? Okay. So you are a winner, Al. Everyone in our group is. It's a collective conscious. Exactly. Absolutely. And that's the mission, right? Because I'm trying to pack in so much value. We have the data that Bloomberg has. We have the community that Bloomberg does not have, right? So I'm trying to replicate a Wall Street building, but I'm replicating it with people all over the world. We have people all over the world on our platform. I can travel in every state in the United States and I will have a lifetime access member. I can travel in any part of Europe and I will be within 30 minutes of a lifetime access member. You understand how powerful that is? Okay. So I am too long-term holder, just wanting to know your thoughts on when you think Clove may finally be recognized. But, well, I mean, it is. They're silently, I mean, look at this. It is. They're buying it quietly, and they probably want me to shut up right now. It's like I'm that passionate kid in the class. They're like, shut up. Don't say we didn't read this page yet so we can get out of here early, right? It's always me, right? I'm like, but why? I love school. Because for me, I had nothing to go home to. I had the streets to go home to. For other people, they had other things to go home to. Now, I'm like them. I'm like, let's get the hell out of here, right? Right? Because I have something called hobbies now. Before I never had that, right? It was just school. School was my hobby, right? Because that's all I had, right? But hey, it paid off, right? So, so yeah, I think once we are free cash flow positive, once the growth comes back, I think that's what is going to happen. Dang, you trying to buy a private jet? Like, honestly, so my problem is with private jets is a lot of planes have been crashing this year. I think I'm going to be happy with, your Southwest Airlines. You know what I'm saying? I was going to say Delta, but, an American, oh God, but it's not American's fault. I usually fly American. I love American Airlines, right? I don't know about the stock, but I think Delta's the one that's the strongest, but hey, they survived. So yeah, so what we'll do is we will go ahead and we'll bring back the coupon code, because I literally have had 7 emails in the past 48 hours saying, hey, can you please, I missed your discount code. So we'll bring it back. Again, we're trying to bring as many people on the ship as possible, because we really are onto something here. And you guys see it for yourself. Nothing like this exists. Fintel does not have this. Okay. TipRanks does not have the type of data that we have. You go in right now, you type in Palantir, we are all of them. Here's the price targets from analyst price targets. We are Fintel. We have the data of Fintel. We have data of we have all the data that TipRanks have. We have all the data that Bloomberg has. We have all the data that Seeking Alpha. We are all of it. You understand? And on top of that, we have a community, and that's better than all of them, right? We have the best freaking community in the stock market. I guarantee you. I effing guarantee you, right? I put my money on that one. Okay. Right. I appreciate it. So hi Al, my other baby mama. I was like, wait, what's going on, Elon? Right? No, my baby Hims was beat up pretty bad today. Luckily, Clover stood this. It's interesting because Hims actually has exploded pretty well, guys. Right? Remember we called that stock out in the weekend. We'll talk about it. It shot up pretty good, but then obviously it went ahead and fell. But it probably again, let's see, maybe if we could do a Fibonacci. It's fallen down to the Fibonacci around $48 here. You could kind of see it right around here. Yeah, it fell right on that fib at 49.09. Again, all part of the stock terminal here, guys. The advanced stock terminal here for lifetime. Let's go do a Monte Carlo on this. Yeah, it's the 50. In fact, here, let's reset. Let's do advanced. Let's look at the advanced technicals for Hims. Yeah, we're 4-1. We're still bullish. Let's go to institutional ownership real quick. Let's go ahead and graph these. We are 7-2 bullish overall on institutions. Institutions are buying. You see how institutions are above that red line in comparison. Clover just basically went above it for the first time. Let's go ahead and let's give us what else can we do? Let's do a Monte Carlo on this. I'm just curious to see kind of where's Hims going, because this is one of the stocks we called out. 52, 71, 96, 2. Yeah, again, very bullish. Incredible. So let's go back to Clover real quick. So now we talked about this. Now what I want to do is institutional ownership real quick here. Here's this. Here's that. Ownership percent just crossed above the red line. Look at the increased position. Look at how many Wall Streeters have increased their position. That means they were already holders, and they essentially bought. They essentially bought the dip. They've been increasing their freaking positions. Or if they bought earlier when it was around 60 cents, they're buying more, right? You see how freaking powerful this is? You see how powerful it is? I went ahead and I text Linda. Linda is our customer support specialist. Hopefully by the end of this live, potentially, from what I'm reading from her, I think she'll be able to go ahead and activate the flash coupon code. She says that it's already been activated. Really? That's pretty fast. Okay, we'll go ahead and check, because I don't. How is it? Oh, okay. She just activated it now. Okay. All right, that's fine. All right. So that's good. Well, that's good. All right. So let's go ahead and let's double check and let's see. Okay, let's get off of the phone here. Okay, let's see real quick. Hold on. Let's see. Again, all part of the lifetime access here. You can see it's integrated right here. And then you have your first steps in the stock market, understanding the stock market foundation, all of this, right? You have a course right on top of it, right? So it's very powerful stuff, guys. All right, so let's go ahead and do this here. Let's go ahead and do All Stock Trades. Actually, let's just go straight to allstocktrades.com. Let's remove all this. And the cool part is look at the website. Look how sexy this is. Right? Look at that. Look how sexy that is. Right? I designed that. It took me forever. All right, so let's go ahead and Let's do this. So if you technically go in right now, and if you hit, see if it works. If you hit flash, she's saying that, oh yeah, you gotta accept cookies. If you hit flash, it should work. Oh, okay, there it is. Okay, guys. Thanks, Linda. Appreciate you. All right. Yeah, flash $500 off is on right now. Go ahead and break out of the matrix, right? Join one of the best communities, I believe, that's on Wall Street, right? All right. So now let's go back to what we're saying here now for Clover, right? Let's go back to the institutional graph. Again, lifetime access to all of this, right? All right. So closed positions, it's actually went below the red line. You want that. You don't want the number above. That means more people are closing positions. No. For the first time ever, we're at an all-time low on an average perspective in closed positions, meaning that Wall Street doesn't want to close positions. Reduced positions, we have some consolidation there. We'll see, but it's overall downtrending. Let's look at the put-call ratio here. Again, if it's above 1, it's bearish. If it's below 1, it's bullish. Ladies and gentlemen, right now we are at a 0.44. We are freaking bullish. Bullish. You understand what that is? All right, so now let's go ahead now. Let's go back to Humana. I'm actually curious to see what's Humana's score. So Humana's score right now is 4 bullish, 5 bearish, overall bearish. But let's look at the put to call. The put to call right now, so it seems as people have pulled, so they've reduced their, no, this looks pretty good to me. Increase, oh yeah, look at this. Remember I told you it was above this line and now it's below. So it's downtrending on increased position. So they're slowly getting out of it, but they're slowly slowing down now. So potentially this could be a value play for Humana. We'll see, right? But ultimately we're going to keep following it because it does, they definitely, in terms of investor holdings, they were selling the crap out of it and it's below the red line. So this is obviously bearish, right? So it's still bearish. So we'll see. This could be a dead cat bounce, but overall it is bearish. Let's go ahead and take a look at UnitedHealthcare since we're talking about UnitedHealthcare. So let's see what's going on. Yeah, 4 bullish, 5 bearish, overall bearish. Yeah, guys, it seems as if it's a new dawn, a new day for Clover Health, right? So what I want to do now, and this is the flash coupon code, but I don't want to see that right now. I want to go ahead and type in the financials for UnitedHealthcare because Bill Ackman said it's not worth $500 billion. Again, I'm not trying to dispute what he's saying. I just want to do an intrinsic value real quick. They got about $25 to $20 billion of free cash flow. They got about $400 billion of revenue. Net income, they about $14 billion of revenue, of net income, sorry. So we'll go ahead and do an intrinsic value calculation real quick. And we'll see kind of what it's at right now. Growth-wise, we can, and then this is where the stock terminal comes in. You got to look at the expectations for analysts. In fact, what I'm going to do is the brain machine. I'm just going to write a note for myself here because there's something I've been coding for the past 2 years. Let me see if I can push it through. Analyst expectations. Again, we're like upgrading this every day, guys. Right before I start residency, fingers crossed. So got 429 here. They're growing about 6%. So based off of this, yeah, I mean, I think it's appropriately priced. So I think Bill Ackman is just saying this, just to he's saying if you do an intrinsic value, it makes sense why UnitedHealthcare is making a lot of money. I mean, its revenue is $400 billion. I think what he's basically saying is, yes, the evaluations justify the overall price of UnitedHealthcare, meaning that it's worth the price. But I think what he's saying is, how could this happen? Like, how could this happen? What are they doing to make themselves this damn big, right? So I get with what they're saying, what he's saying. Because if you go ahead and look at the progression analysis for UnitedHealthcare, you could see, 456, it's currently trading at 466. And the line here, if you just look at the bear case in the next 10 years, this thing is going to be a $1,200 stock in the next 10 years. So who knows? Maybe not. Maybe Clover might get some of that, right? So there's a lot, right? And you can see this all automatically pre-populates and pre-fills, right? And it's off of a growth rate of 10%. I mean, you could go ahead and be bearish and say 6% growth rate, and you can generate the projections here. Yeah, and you can see kind of where it's going at here with the projections. That's not bad. And so on the charts are all interactive. Let me go ahead and see this real quick. Clove had a smaller float, 2021, 800 million. Clove Bidetoots, exactly. Yes, stock price was much higher though, so that factors in. No, absolutely, I agree with you. You're right. Good, astute observation. Don't forget to request. Oh man, I almost read that one. Right, tough day, but it was that's sad. No. We need more data, guys. No, the outcomes of women surgeons are actually a lot better than men. Believe that, as someone who's in the field, right? I don't know why, but it just is. Maybe because they're more caring. I don't know. So tough day, but it was Friday. Just wondering, as a new member cost more in the first year, how are we expecting this to affect numbers? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it's I think they're growing at a way that is not like how they grew before at over 200% growth rate. I mean, Andrew Toy was like, "You guys want growth? I'll give you growth." Say hello to my little friend, right? I think they grew a little bit more. I think now they're growing responsibly. So I don't think we might see that. But again, it takes about a year and a half for MCR levels to retrace downwards based off of the Clover Assistant. But also now they have more data, so they potentially might be able to reduce it, let's say, in 6 months. I don't know. I'm just, I don't know. Speaking of sentiment analysis, again, this by itself, people charge for. UnitedHealthcare sentiment analysis, you can see it's actually went negative now from positive. You run the machine learning analysis, and it'll say something really funny. Mildly bearish. It's really, really bearish. You go ahead and type in Humana, HUM. Look at the week or the month. You can see it's really negative here, and you run this. It's slowly tracking back on and run the mildly bearish. But then you go ahead and you run Clover and you do 3 months. You can see Clover's doing really well. I mean, just look at the beautiful part of Clover. Clover's just this was May 2024 when the stock price was around 60 cents. You could see now times have changed, right? And this can be a contrarian indicator as well. This says mildly bullish, so you can ultimately see kind of where we're at. Let's look at Alignment Healthcare. Alignment Healthcare. You could see the analysis is mildly bullish. It makes sense because the stock price has been going up. So you have access to all this information. You have access to all this, and below is the articles that it analyzes. You could see the articles here, and it runs an analysis on them using our proprietary models, and it goes ahead and graphs it in a sophisticated fashion for you to easily read it. And again, all part of lifetime access. So you can see how powerful the stock terminal is. And it's really, this is my favorite part. It has a little glowing sensation to it. It's so beautiful. Look at that glow, right? So freaking nice. I turn it off though. You can turn it on or off. So there it is, guys. I wasn't expecting to do this, but since you guys are asking, and I have a lot of emails, people that are watching the email that I haven't responded to, please watch the video. Take advantage of this flash coupon code. We'll have it. What we'll do is we'll have it go through. Until earnings, and this will be the thank you for everyone who believed in us, right? Because we will be tracking on the increasing prices, because this is at this rate, given what we're providing, and given everything that we're giving, it's very expensive, and we're actually losing money, right? Because it's if you look at the what we're offering, just go ahead, do your analysis, right? Tip ranks 50, seeking alpha, let's say 30. That's about 80. We got equity analysis, which cost another $100, $150 a month. We got what else? You could add a Bloomberg terminal to it, which is $2,000 a month. We're saving you, tens of thousands of dollars every month, right? Literally, right? We're about anywhere between $5,000 to $10,000 a month, right? So there it is. So we already increased. So we're at 4 stars. So hopefully we can go higher, but nothing from what I hear from them. I have a hard time looking at the screen like this. Eye problem. Yeah, no, definitely take some time anyway to see this background and this white background and white logo in the back. It's tough to do because we are a terminal, and usually Bloomberg, the terminal levels are coded in such a black format. But what we can do is I will see what I can do in terms of the codecs to potentially do a light and dark balance. So I'll go ahead and add that, and I'll be able to code that in there. Give me maybe about 2 weeks, maybe. We'll see what I can do there, right? To add that in there. In fact, let me write that down in my notes. Let's see. Have a nighttime versus dark time vision. So we'll see. We'll put that in there and yeah. All right. There it is, guys. I mean, honestly, that's pretty much it. I mean, so based off of what Bill Ackman was saying, he doesn't understand how it's $500 billion. But I mean, based off of the free cash flow, Bill Ackman, it's understandable. But I get what you're saying. How do they even get to that level to where the evaluations do justify it? But how do they get to that? And what practices did they do to achieve that? That's a good question. I thought this administration is going to be easier on the incumbents. I really did. I thought they were going to be easy on the incumbents, but it turns out they're actually a lot harder. There's a DOJ investigation and UnitedHealth, which is insane. So potentially the choo-choo train for Clover just got stronger. So that's pretty good, guys. And I'm like a big bull right now, the biggest bull I've ever been. I love you all. Again, we're all in this together. We have an amazing community. You could see like the people that come to our channel and the subscriber bases of our channel. You remember that guy named Laz? Remember how that guy used to come and saying Clover's going to go down to 2 or 3, just like a complete idiot. Obviously, it's been going up now, and he's just left. Like the loser. Like we have had so many haters come on the channel, and it's just funny because and you all know kind of how to differentiate between bullshit and not. Because now what you do is when you go talk to someone who looks at the stock market and talks about the stock market, let's say on YouTube or whatever, you're going to look for keywords. Are they talking about free cash flow? Bill Ackman always talks about free cash flow. You can go ahead and YouTube it and you'll see it, right? You're going to ask yourself, is this guy talking about intrinsic value? If they don't mention these types of things, chances are they don't know what the hell they're talking about. Okay. And now you essentially have this, right? You have this knowledge, right? So that's pretty good. So I appreciate you for acknowledging it. And, I appreciate you guys for watching, right? And I'll take a look at it. We have a channel in our called Oscar that we talked about Oscar. And I think we talked about it last week in terms of it's ready to kind of get primed up. So good. And, we made a video about Oscar when it was around $2.30. So, we were there, right? We were there from the beginning. So, all right, guys, God bless you all. Enjoy your Friday. And for all the individuals that are interested in lifetime access, we brought it back. Thank you, Linda, for bringing this back very quickly. I don't know how the hell you did it that fast. Holy crap, you are amazing. Thank you, Linda. Thank you for watching. Discount code is Flash, $500 off. Take advantage, right? Take advantage. Join the platform that literally brings you the power of Wall Street to Main Street. God bless you all, and I'll see you on the next one. I was gonna say drop the base on that one. So okay, I'm back. Just to respond, how about an Al stock, trades ETF? I'll commit 200,000, shares. What do you think? So if I let's say to open up a hedge fund, we would easily have around $100 million in this hedge fund, and in the next 10 years, it'll probably be. If I was to open up a hedge fund, we would have based off of what I'm seeing, we would have around $1 billion in assets under management, right? Here's the problem, guys, right? As of right now, my passion is not in managing money, right? That's not my passion, right? My passion is not into taking money and fees and all this other crap. My passion is in teaching, right? I'm an academic by heart, but I am a responsible academic that's actually not sitting in an ivory tower. I'm an academic that understands real world, right? So I love to teach. So I would rather people be able to fish for themselves rather than just me making an ETF. Now it's fun. Don't get me wrong, it's fun, but my passion is in the operating room. My passion is being by the patient's side. I know we're very successful. I know I definitely can create something that can beat the market for sure. But you never know, though. It's very difficult to beat the market, right? But I would rather be by the patient's bedside. I would rather be in the OR. I'd rather be in the hospital. I'd rather be taking care of patients. I would rather be sitting down, listening to patients, history, right? And listening to them and figuring out what is wrong with them and being able to diagnose them effectively. I love that. I love it a lot. And that's where my heart is, right? But we have, again, the goal was to be in the OR, save lives, and also outside of the OR have the software run and be able to help people over the world. So as of right now, I'm not interested in creating an ETF nor a hedge fund. It's just not. It's not a. It won't make me happy, right? What makes me happy is seeing people do what I'm doing, right? Learning and talking about intrinsic value. That's what makes me happy, right? Again, I'm not in this for the money, guys, right? I'm trying to. Later on in life, if you haven't realized this yet, you don't take nothing with you. The only thing that you leave is a legacy. And the beautiful part about this is this gets transferred down to your children. So that's what I'm trying to create here. I'm trying to create a legacy, so you can start to see how undervalued this is. All right, ladies and gentlemen, God bless you. And this time for real. I'll see you on the next one.